Hey guys, I'm Anestic and today I will show you how to do Manibus Nightmare after the recent changes to SN700. The most lazy way. All you will have to do is summon your deviation, shoot a few times with your secondary weapon, shoot 6 times with your main weapon, and boss should be dead. Boom. Boss is dead and now you will have to reload your weapons. And the best thing is that you don't have to do anything else, anything in addition like swapping to Tech 9. Because your deviation should be ready to use. Let's do it again so you will see it's very consistent. So, and the most important thing about this setup, when you will summon your deviation, you will want to look straight ahead, so you will be able to apply bullseye debuff to the boss. This is the most important thing. So now boss is debuffed, and now you want to shoot with your secondary weapon, shoot 6 times with your main weapon, and boom, boss is dead. Boss is dead. Again, reload your weapons, collect loot, and boom. So yeah, so that's it. That's it after the changes. And when it comes to fastest time, which you can do it in 25 seconds with my old setup. So if you didn't see my video, if you want to do it slightly faster, like in 25 seconds, you can have a look on my old video. This setup is still up to date, as you can see. The only difference is that you will be not able to apply shrapnel. Shrapnel stacks with your secondary weapon. You will be not able to deal huge damage with your secondary weapon, but that's it, you know? That's it. Everything else stays the same. Okay guys, let me show you now my setup for lazy people, which I used when I was making clips. So this is what you want to have on your main weapon. You want to have rapid shot style calibration with additional critical rate. And you will want to have shatter them all with shrapnel suffix. This is the mod which will give you the biggest damage boost. And when it comes to accessories, this is what I focus on. I focus on some extra range, bullet velocity, accuracy stability, some extra reload speed and accuracy mobility. Plus this is the ammo type which you want to use. And when it comes to secondary weapon, I didn't change my secondary weapon. I'm still using MPS7 in my opinion. This weapon is still the best, especially if you will combine this weapon with Zapcam. So basically you don't need any secondary weapon which will be applying bullseye debuff, because Zapcam can do it for you. So basically holding EPS7 div F with this mod will give you 16% vulnerability on enemies when Zapcam will apply this debuff. So basically follow the steps which I was explaining when I was killing the boss, and you should apply bullseye to the boss. And when it comes to accessories, this is what I'm using. Some extra range, accuracy, reload speed, and this is the ammo type. For my secondary weapon, melee weapon isn't needed. As you could see, I wasn't using melee weapon, so we can skip it. So a second big change which I did in my setup is that I'm using lone wolf set this time, just to have some extra magazine capacity. When you will have plus 10 magazine capacity, you will be able to have 6 bullets in your mag, and it should be enough to mm, to kill Manibus without reloading. Because I was trying to do it with 5 bullets and I was missing a bit damage, you know. So I had to make some changes, find some extra damage which I could deal. So that was the change which I did. So basically, lone wolf set 2 pieces will give you some magazine capacity and critical rate +5. And second set which I'm using is still savior set, which will give me some shields, you know, some weapon damage. And unique piece is still cage helmet, the best unique piece which you can use. And when it comes to skins which I used, this is what I used: Stark Valkohide on helmet, basically plus 16 weapon damage. And I used Lunar Rabbit skins on my equipment, on my hollow equipment bat mask. Yeah, as you can see. There is no need to use 5 of them, but somehow I used 5. No, it doesn't matter, because I could use something like max stamina plus 20 on my pants, but to be honest, I didn't need max stamina, so I wasn't changing anything in addition. Okay, when it comes to mods which I used on my equipment, this is what I used. So basically, momentum up on my helmet, for extra weapon damage. If you don't have classic mods, I will quickly show you what you can use instead. So basically, if you don't have classic mods, you can use either momentum up with crescent or lunar suffix. Just use mod which has the best stats, and you can also use weapon symphony with lunar or crescent suffix as well. But I don't have these mods, so I'm using, and that's why I'm using momentum up. Yeah, you can use any of these two. And when it comes to mask mod, I'm using shrapnel carnage with shrapnel suffix. For my chest, I'm using rejuvenating with lunar suffix, but again it's classic mod, so I will show you something what you can use instead. So you can use anything, to be honest, anything, but with phantasmal or lunar suffix. Yeah, phantasmal or lunar suffix. Rejuvenating will be not that useful for this boss fight because we'll be not killing enemies, including ice crystal, so you'll be not able to gain some additional shields. So to be honest, you can use anything for this boss fight with the best stats you have. Yeah, and the best one will be lunar, then phantasmal. And for my pants, I'm using bullet siphon. This mod will give me +5 weapon damage. And in addition, every 5 bullets, I will gain +4 weapon damage. So basically, when I will be sitting at 1 bullet, I will gain +9 weapon damage. To be honest, it's the best choice which you can use for your pants, because you will be not killing enemies, so you are not able to take advantage of reload rampage, +10 weapon damage. And that shot isn't that good because we are not shooting that often. On average, you will get like +10, +15 critical damage, which is a bit worse than +9 weapon damage. That's why bullet siphon will be the best choice for your pants when you want to play lazy way. For my gloves, I'm using critical boost with arrow suffix. Yeah, best mod which you can use, but not the best suffix. If you will have crescent suffix, then use crescent suffix instead. But crescent mods aren't available at the moment unless you will select them from the collection level. So it's up to you if you will select this mod. But area suffix is fine. I'm using area suffix for my gloves, and when it comes to shoes, I'm using Rush Hour Phantasmal. This mod should be the best. Basically, I will gain additional weapon and critical damage when I switch weapons. And second best option will be Rush Hour Downstar. And as always, if you are missing any of these mods, you can get them either from collection level. If you missed the update, we have now collection level where you can select any mod, including shiny mods. As you can see, open to select a helmet shiny mod, and the same goes for any slot when you will have enough points. And before that, you can select any level 17 mod which you want, including vision mods. And at the moment, we have Gravity Abyss, where you can get Downstar and Arrow mods. In addition, you will be able to buy some Phantasmal mods in Visional Redemption Shop, if you didn't see. So as you can see, just collect some Gravity Crystals, and you will be able to buy some Phantasmal mods. If you don't know how to get this currency as fast as possible, you can have a look on my previous video, which I made some time ago. This video is still up to date. You will be able to gain between 4 and 6,000 gravity crystals in around 35 minutes. So yeah. Now when it comes to cradles, I made some changes. So now I'm using this cradle, which will give me plus 20 weak spot damage against enemies with the bullseye debuff. And that's it, I think, when it comes to changes. So basically some extra damage with this cradle, some extra weapon damage, some extra shields, extra damage when you have enough shields, deviant power recovery speed. I mean, you don't have to choose this one because your deviation should be fine. So you will have one empty slot, but there is nothing special what you can select. Yeah, so yeah, you can use it. And this too will give you some extra shrapnel damage. And when it comes to foot buffs, which I used, I will show you what I used. So basically, this is what I used. So basically, whimsical drink plus 16 weapon damage, Stardust mushroom soup some stamina plus meat effect, you know, the bullseye damage against the enemies with the bullseye debuff. So that was the biggest change which I did when it comes to my foot buffs. I'm using now foot buffs which will give me damage against the bullseye enemies with the bullseye, and mixed fried hot dog for even more damage against enemies with the bullseye, and lastly clean steak for shrapnel damage. And now I think I can show you my deviation which I used. So this is the deviation which I used. So basically Zapcam with Lunar Oracle will give you plus 7.5 weapon damage. In addition, you will have Crack Shot for extra 5 weapon damage. And Moonlight Assault is very nice at night to just to gain some deviant power back a bit faster. So yeah, but you shouldn't have problems with deviant power, so it doesn't matter, to be honest. And I think when it comes to this setup, I think that's it. I think that's it. So guys, let me know what you think about this setup. Let me know if it's like lazy enough. So yeah, let me know, guys, and I will see you guys in the next one, probably on next Sunday. I mean, on this Sunday. On this Sunday, as always, I will be live streaming. So if you would like to join me, you can join me. And I wish you guys nice weekend. Bye bye. Thank you for watching.